Today is National Running Day 2026, where I wanted to make a video to celebrate and commemorate what such an amazing activity is for the lives of so many people, including my own, and what it means to me, what the sport means. Today is a celebration of movement. And why should you care? Why should you watch this video even? I'm not going to convince you to run. I'm not going to convince you to do anything. I just want to share my own anecdotal journey of running and kind of what it has done for me. I've been running for 6 years. I've ran 2 marathons, 1 independent, 1 in an organization. I've run countless of half marathons, and I've never really subscribed to the crazy training plans or arcs of the social media fanatization of running. Kind of just existed in my own world. I just ran how I feel like it, ran because I wanted to, trained how I wanted to, and yeah. That's my, in part, of running. Like that's my relationship with it. So, how did it all start? 6 years ago, COVID happened, as you may be aware. And actually, not even that. Before then, glimmers of my interest in running were showing. Probably about 8 years ago, when I was 16 or so. I had this idea that I wanted to move my body. I wanted to be a little bit more physically fit, but no one in my life was doing it. No one in my life showed me that running was okay. No one in my life showed me that I could just strap on my shoes and go out the door. But running was an activity that actually offered such a low barrier to entry that before you knew it, I found enough courage in myself to go for my very first run. It felt so foreign. It felt so weird. My legs burned. My mind was kind of weird because I was suddenly doing a brand new activity, not knowing how to even, or what I was even doing. I didn't know how fast to run. I didn't know where to even go. I didn't know how long I should even run for. I didn't know what this foreign feeling of burning in my lungs were, or my muscles. Everything was so new, so novel, but it just started with running. It started there. And because running was so easy, I was able to start the activity and keep on with it. And I felt like it served me very well, very quickly. You know, this novelty was very, very good, and it rejuvenated me very slightly. But I never stuck with it fully right away. Because, you know, habits, they come and go. It's a very challenging thing to start something new, especially if it's so painful. Why would I want to go out of my way to experience the pain? Why would I want to experience just the burning sensation of my muscles willingly? Put on my shoes to leave home so I would, you know, like, it's such a counterintuitive thought process. But coming back from those first initial runs, I felt so happy that I went for it. It felt like I did a leap, that I entered a world that I knew was going to stay by my side forever. Because the times after those runs, my mental clarity improved immensely. My moods started to stabilize. I was no longer a bashful, super sad individual, but one that could hold itself with some semblance of confidence. Because yeah, I would run, and it kind of proved to me that I was in control of my own domain. But a lot of these thoughts definitely came later. It wasn't always right away that semblance showed up. And so we get to COVID now. COVID was a moment in time when the entire world stopped. I would do school from home. Everyone would work from home. There was a moment of reflection, of pause, to get yourself out of the loop. And when you can get out of the loop, you can start to notice certain patterns of your life. And I noticed I really enjoyed running. I actually saw it for what it really was. And thus, when COVID happened, I called my friend Noah. I said, buddy, let's make this an opportunity. Let's spend this pause of life to really dig deep and figure out what it is that we're missing and just lean into running, lean into growth, lean into a mindset where you're challenging yourself in this period of challenge. Because life has paused. We have the opportunity to pursue running to its full capacity. And so I did. And I ended up running every day for over 400 and 20 something days. Within that frame, I ran 2 half marathons. I ran my first full marathon, which I committed to myself. I told myself a year from now I will have ran a marathon. That was October 9th, I believe. And I did. I was not physically prepared per se, but mentally, after committing over a year straight, every day waking up running, I was. I ran in negative 40 degrees Celsius. I ran in temperatures where I couldn't even keep my eyes open. I ran every waking day. 6 a.m. wake up before class started, run. Negative 40 degrees out, run. Plus 30 degrees outside, run. The day stopped mattering. I leaned into the activity of running as my conduit to just the bigger picture. Because I was not just like running gave me the form of acceptance of life. It was an activity that I would do, and it was an activity that I would just do. The noise of the world ceased when I ran. When I was running, I did not have to worry about the stresses in my life, about who I'm going to be dating, about who I'm going to become, about my career trajectory, about how well I'm doing in school. I didn't have to worry about my depression because for a moment, I was just running. I was present with myself. I was locked into this mindset where I could just be. I could just be here in the now and exist. And this is what running gave for me, a meditative practice where I could just resolve so many of my own mental issues that I had going on in my life. Think about my depression, wade through it, leverage the pain so that nothing else in my life could affect me. Because the thing about running is when you feel the pain of running, this physical exertion, the presentation in your life no longer stresses you out. Going out in public and socializing is no longer an issue because you've experienced worse. You've experienced the physical pain. It anchored you into reality again. When we get so comfortable in our own ways, we stop to see the ease of life for what it truly is. An ounce of hard work is not hard if you've been pushing in a different activity so much more. Life opens up when you give yourself to this exertion. And that's what it did for me. It was a launching pad for my life. It taught me almost everything that I know about myself. Because when I'm at the edge of calling it quits, I'm speaking to like my soul. On these runs, when I'm pushing and giving it my all and just all hope is lost, I find it in me to push the extra mile. Running has given me more than I could imagine. I am literally getting teary-eyed right now. Loss, I find it in me to push the extra mile. Running has given me more than I could imagine. I am literally getting teary-eyed right now. I was nothing before running, and it's crazy to give it that much weight, but it has truly single-handedly changed my entire life. It has done more for me than any therapy or talking to friends could. Because it was just me, myself, and the trails that I left behind. You strap on the shoes and you go. You rely on yourself and no one else. Because when you're happy in yourself, when you rely on yourself, when you learn that you can trust you, the world becomes a playground. You don't care if people make fun of you. You don't care if you don't match expectations. You are merely existing in the world that you can exist in, and you're doing the best that you can do, and you know that that's enough. Because when it's you out on the trail, when it's you running, you know you're trying your best, and that converts into the rest of your life. Having this sense of confidence that you can carry through for the rest of your life just unlocks an unbelievable amount of doors that I never knew existed. Running has taught me the discipline of life. That good things only come when you give it your all. And that when you're giving your all, it's supposed to be painful. It's not supposed to be easy. And when you can accept that reality, life is freeing. At every waking moment, there is suffering. You are part of the human condition, as I mentioned in my previous video. Pain is a constant. No matter how well off you are, no matter how, down in the dumps is your world will always find something that will stress you out. And running is an anchor point. It tells you, hey, this is an immense stressor. And relatively speaking, the other stressors pale in the size. I love running because it's such a simple activity. Put on running shoes and run. It's not that simple. People overcomplicate it. People think that you need to have a proper training plan. People think that you need to even have the proper shorts, shirts, whatever. Nah, just run. You'll figure out all this along the way, but the point is you just start. Yeah, I've had so many knee injuries as well, but it's taught me to be mindful of my body. It's taught me then, if I've kept on this learning trajectory, to lean into what it means to be healthy. At this stage in my running career, I have a half Ironman, 2 of them in my distance, in my future this year. And I've taught, and when I was aware of my knee injuries because of running, and I actually listened, I then again furthered my education of I need to now help my body. It's not just about running anymore. It's about doing mobility. It's about fitness, because when you do so much of one thing, it's inevitable to get injured. All I'm trying to say is a convoluted way of saying that running inadvertently connected myself deeper to me and my awareness of my body and how it felt, and even the connectedness to the world around me. I was now running in neighborhoods that I've never seen before. I'm exploring my city for what it is, and wherever I traveled, I would experience it in full colors. Running is one of the best things that has happened to me. And I haven't even charted out all the benefits of it in this video, because there are just too many to count. You get to explore, you get to engage with yourself, you get to engage with the world around you, you get to become fitter and suddenly have an infinite amount of energy at your disposal. The best thing I ever did was run. I hope people pick it up too, or at least lean into another activity that they can find this much value in. But anyway, happy National Running Day. I hope you celebrate. I'm not actually going for a run today. I ran last night, but I most certainly will tomorrow. Take it easy. I'm Matthew. I got emotional during this talk because I just feel it so deep in my core. I love running. Have a good one. Peace and love. Matthew, signing off.